For the introduction, as we all can see, nowadays, mobile phone is a gadget that everyone does on in their daily life to get some information or simplify their day-to-day work. The mobile phone brands are the things that a person should choose to buy, as it will affect lots of things in order to satisfy comfort and usefulness of their own. It is important to choose the goods of a mobile phone brand to facilitate work in finding information, socializing, or others. The population of the study is students of UiTM in Kampus Samarahan 1 and Kampus Samarahan 2 Sarawak. Also, 131 students are the sample of the study. We use the stratified sampling technique to conduct this study to get the information. This data collection method is done by posting the online questionnaire where it relates to the objective of our study. It will be easier to the students answer the question through online wherever they are. The objective of our study are to investigate the number of mobile phones owned by students. Second, to identify brands of mobile phone owned by students. Third, to investigate the main features students consider when buying a mobile phone. Fourth, to identify students' satisfaction with the features of their mobile phones. Fifth, to identify the average time students use a mobile phone in a day. Last but not least, to identify the main reasons students consider when buying a mobile phone. Methodology: population and sample. For this project, the population in our study is the students that are studying at UiTM Kampus Samarahan 1 and Kampus Samarahan 2. For this project, 131 students are selected as our sample. Source of data. The sampling technique used in our study is combined sampling technique. We have conduct online questionnaire and distribute it to the students in UiTM Kampus Samarahan 1 and Kampus Samarahan 2. The third, statistical method. Data from the study are collected through online questionnaire. The link can be retrieved at the slide. Data description: gender, type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, pie chart. Semester, type, quantitative, scale, ratio, method, histogram. Age, type, quantitative, scale, ratio, method, histogram, and box plot. Campus, type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, pie chart. Number of mobile phone that currently on, type, quantitative, scale, ratio, method, histogram. Mobile phone brand, type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, bar chart. Preferred operating system, type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, pie chart. Main reason why buy the mobile phone that currently on, type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, bar chart. How long have been using mobile phone? Type, quantitative, scale, ratio, method, histogram, and box plot. Main features that consider when buy the mobile phone: type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, bar chart. Average time spent on mobile phone in a day. Type, quantitative, scale, nominal, method, bar chart. Source of money to buy mobile phone. Type, qualitative, scale, nominal, method, bar pie chart. Overall satisfaction with the feature: type, qualitative, scale, ordinal, method, multiple, bar chart.
Thank you, Nur Dania. So I will continue our presentation with analysis for qualitative variables. First qualitative variable is students' gender. The pie chart in the table shows the frequency distribution of students' gender in this study. As what we can see, total of students involved in this study is 131. Majority of students are female, which accounted for 58%, and only 42% of students are male. second qualitative variable is students' campus. There are two campuses involved in this study, which are UiTM Samarahan Campus 1 and UiTM Samarahan Campus 2.
62.7%
of the students are from UiTM Samarahan Campus 1, meanwhile 47.3% of the students are from UiTM Samarahan Campus 2. Frequency distribution of mobile phone branded owned by the students is shown in the bar chart in the table. Most of the students own Apple brand that has the highest frequency, which is 37, while Google Pixels and Infinix brand have the same frequency, which is 1. Realme and Samsung brand also have the same frequency, which is 19. However, there is a student who own both Vivo and Samsung brand, which accounted for 1. Let's move to the next qualitative variable, which is preferred operating system. There are only two options for operating system, which are Android and iOS. Majority of students prefer Android operating system the most, which accounted for 71.8%, and only 28.2% of students prefer iOS operating system. Main reason why buy the mobile phone that currently owned is one of the qualitative variables. From the bar chart in the table, we can see that 50 students choose quality as their main reason in buying a mobile phone that they currently own, with the percentage of 38.2%. Meanwhile, there are two students choose brand image as the main reason, with the percentage of 1.5%. Then we have main feature that considered when buy the mobile phone variable. There are 7 options of main feature for the students to choose, which are camera, the durability of battery, processor, screen quality, speaker, storage, and video quality. Most of the students choose storage as their main feature that consider when buy the mobile phone, with percentage of 38.2%, while there is only one student who choose speaker as the main feature that consider when buy the mobile phone, with percentage of 0.8%. The bar chart in the table displays frequency distribution of average time spent on mobile phone in a day. Most of students spend their time on mobile phone in a day more than 5 hours, which accounted for 102 students. However, 24 students spend their time on mobile phone in a day between 3 to 5 hours, and only 5 students spend their time on mobile phone in a day between 1 to 3 hours. In our study, source of money to buy mobile phone is one of the qualitative variable. 65 students choose parent as the source of money to buy mobile phone, with percentage of 43.5%. Source of money using own money or savings has been chosen by 57 students. Meanwhile, sibling is the least choice that are chosen by students, which only chosen by 9 students. Last qualitative variable is overall satisfaction with the features. As we can see from the multiple bar chart and the table, most of the students choose storage as they are very satisfied than the other features, which accounted for 60.3%. Feature that students satisfied among 5 features is camera, with percentage 32.1%. Battery with 16% get neutral satisfaction from students in this study. For dissatisfied, battery and speaker have the same percentage, which is 2.3%, and lastly, only 1.5% of the students very dissatisfied with the battery. That's all from me, and I will pass our presentation to the next group member, Aisyah.
Thank you, Ain. So I'm going to present about quantitative variable. The first one is about student semester. The figure is represent histogram for variable student semester respectively. From the histogram, we can see that the distribution of student semester is skewed to the right. The student from the semester 6 is the minimum value for student semester, and the maximum value is student from semester 2. Next is about student age. There are two figures that represent histogram and box plot for variable student age respectively. From the histogram, we can see that the distribution of student age is skewed to the right. The minimum value of student age is 18 and the maximum value is 24. However, from the box plot, as we can see that there are two outliers present in variable student age. And the next one is number of mobile phone that currently owns. The two figures represent histogram and box plot for variable number of mobile phone that currently own respectively. From the histogram, we can see that the distribution of mobile phone that currently owns is skewed to the right. The minimum value of number of mobile phone that currently own is 1 and the maximum value is 3. However, from the box plot, we all can see that there are no outliers present in variable number of mobile phone that currently own. Next is how long has been using the mobile phone. These two figures represent histogram and box plot for variable how long has been using mobile phones respectively. From the histogram, we can see that the distribution of how long has been using the mobile phones is skewed to the right. The minimum value is 1 and the maximum value is 8. However, from the box plot, we all can see that there are two outliers present in variable how long has been using the mobile phone. For the measure of central tendency, the table presents summary statistics for measure of central tendency for all the quantitative variables in this study. Most of the students in this study is from semester 2. Average age of students in this study is 19.51 years old. Median value of 19 indicates that half of students is older than 19 years old and another half is younger than 19 years old. Similarly, model value of 19 tells us that most of the student is 19 years old. 1.52 is the average number of mobile phone that currently owned by the student. Median value is 1.00 and the most of the student currently own one mobile phone. 2.50 is the average for how long the student has been using their mobile phone, and the median value is 2.00 that indicates some of the student is using mobile phone more than 2 years, and some of them is using mobile phone less than 2 years. The model value is how long has been using mobile phone is 1. Next is measure of central location. For variable age, first quartile is 19, which indicates that 25% of students is younger than 19 years old, and 75% of them is older than 19 years old. However, third quartile of 20 indicates that 25% of students are older than 20 years old. Apart from this, 25% of students in these studies own more than 2 mobile phones, and those who are less than 2 mobile phones is only 75%. Nonetheless, 25% of students own 1 mobile phone, while the others 75% of them have more than 2 mobile phones. For variable how long has been using mobile phones. First quartile is 1.00, which indicates 25% of students is using their mobile phone less than 1 year, and 75% of them are using their mobile phone more than 1 year. However, third quartile of 3.00 indicates that 25% of students are using their mobile phone more than 3 years. The next one is the measure of dispersion. For variable semester, variance and standard deviation is 1.121 and 1.059. Apart from that, 19.00 is the variance for variable age and 20.00 is the standard deviation. Variance for number of mobile phones that currently own is 0.452 and its standard deviation is 0.672. Lastly, for variable how long has been using mobile phones, variance is 1.00 and standard deviation is 3.00. For the measure of skewness, the minimum, maximum, and skewness value also were examined for all quantitative variables in this study. In this study, semester 1 is the lowest while the highest is semester 6. Pearson coefficient of skewness for variable semester is 1.286, which is skewed to the right. The results show that the youngest student in this study is 18 years old, while the oldest is 24 years old. Pearson coefficient of skewness for variable age is 1.571, which is positively skewed. This tells us that respondents who are younger than the average is more. The less and most amount for number of mobile phones that currently owned by the student is 1 and 3, respectively. Skewness value of 1.934 indicates that the data distribution is skewed to the right. For the variable how long has been using the mobile phone, the minimum is 1 and the maximum is 8. 1.524 is the Pearson coefficient of skewness that indicates the data is positively skewed.
Last part for our video are the conclusion. From the study that we conduct, there are 131 respondents are participate using convenience sampling technique. Most of the respondents are from semester 2 and the least are from semester 6. This can prove, based on the data that we have collected, the mobile phone brand of Apple is the most students use, as it was the most ownership of mobile phone brand, while the least mobile phone brand is Huawei among the students in UiTM Sarawak. We can conclude that the respondents are selectively the operating system of Android, although the mobile phone brand Apple is the most ownership of mobile phone brand among the students in UiTM Sarawak. This may due to the main reason to buy the phones as it follows their own satisfaction on the fit of phones. Thus, this can prove that our objective have been achieved. That's it from us. Thank you.
Hi Miss, my name is Syarifah Nur Ain Afifah binti Wan Ali. You can call me Ain and I am from AC1102F class.
Assalamualaikum and hi Miss, my name is Natasha Razak binti Abdullah and I am from class AC1102F.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Nur Dania Ismalia binti Ismail and I am from AC1102F.
second my story. My student ID is 2021610394.
Hi, my name is Nurhani Silmi binti Roslan, and my ID student is 2021610711.
Hello there, my name is Abigail, and my student ID is 2021612808. First one would be the introduction, 1.1 background of the studies. We are students from Faculty of Accountancy, UiTM Samarahan Campus 1. We are asked to conduct a group project. Our project is about a study of procrastination among students. This group project is conducted in UiTM Samarahan Campus 1, UiTM Samarahan Campus 2, and also UiTM Muka. As we know that, our project is about procrastination. What is procrastination? Procrastination can be further elaborated as the act of someone that seems to have a habit to submit a last-minute task. For example, a student spending his or her time with other things and delay their important tasks. This could lead to bad grades. Nowadays, a lot of students procrastinate because of some reasons such as games, being under pressure, stress, mental illness, and many more. Thus, procrastination is not a good habit for all people. Next, I will be talking about the objectives of the study. The first one would be to study the demographic profile of students in UiTM. The second one would be to identify factors that cause procrastination during online learning. The third one would be to identify activities of choice when procrastinating on work among students. The fourth one would be to identify students' feelings due to procrastination, and the last one would be to determine average time students take to complete an assignment due to procrastination. Chapter 2, we would be talking about the methodology. In this study, our populations is students from UiTM Campus Samarahan 1, UiTM Samarahan Campus 2, and also from UiTM Campus Muka. From these 15 programs, there are 107 students who are selected as sample. In order to select the sample for this project, we are using the stratified sampling technique. Next, I will be talking about statistical methods that we use. Our groups have used online questionnaire for method collected data to get our target, which is the respondent should be able to complete it over the internet easily. We used Google Forms to build the questionnaire, which was then the responses stored in a database and analyzed the data using statistical software. This type of data collecting is quicker, and on average it takes 2/3 less time to finish an online survey project than it does to do traditional research. So we did not have to wait for paper questionnaires to arrive because the information is collected automatically. Furthermore, using online questionnaire reduces our research costs. We can save money on postage, paper, and printing. We also do not have to allocate time and resources to enter the information into a database. For this study, we send our link to the online service, which is the Google form, through WhatsApp and Telegram group or private message. Then the respondents would have a range of options for accessing the survey, including mobile devices, laptops, PCs. I will be talking about the analysis and findings of our project. Analysis for qualitative variable. The 3.1.1 would be the students program. As you can see in figure 4 is the bar chart of respondents program, table 2 is the bar chart of students program. Figure 4 and table 2 shows bar chart of respondents program in this study. Many of the respondents are from AC110 program, while the least students are from AS160, HS110, HS113, and also SR113. 3.1.2 would be the students campus. According to figure 5 and table 3, the bar chart represents the respondents campus. Majority of the respondents are from Samarahan Campus 1, while the least respondents are from Samarahan Campus 2. 3.1.3 shows the student semester. Figure 6 and table 4 shows the respondent semester. Majority of the respondents are from semester 2, which are 67 students. The least respondents are from semester 1, semester 2, and semester 6, which are 2 students. Next, 3.1.4 is the student's gender. Figure 7 in table 5 represents the respondent's gender. Many of the respondents are female, which is 86 students, that is 80.4%. Meanwhile, the least respondents are male, which are 21 students, equivalent to 19.6%. 3.2 Numerical methods. This section summarizes numerical methods that are used for quantitative variables in our study. There is one quantitative variable in this study, which is age. So as you can see on the slide, table 6 above represents the summary of statistics for a measure of central tendency for all quantitative variables in this study. The average of students' age in this study is 19.43 years old. Mode of this study, which is 19, shows that most of the students are 19 years old. Median of this study is also 19, means that half of the students is younger than 19, meanwhile another half is older than 19 years old. For the second table, which is table 8, summary measure of location is shown in this table. The variable age of first quartile is 19, which indicates that 25% of the students is younger than 19 years old and 75% of the students are older than 19 years old. However, the third quartile is 20, which indicates that 25% of the students are older than 20 years old, while 75% of the students are younger than 20 years old. As for the last table, according to this table, minimum, maximum, and skewness can be determined in this study. The result of a study showed that the youngest student in this study is 18 years old, while the oldest is 23 years old. Pearson coefficient of skewness for variable age is 1.403, which is positively skewed. This proves us more younger students than the average. Figure 8, Figure 9, and also in this slide, Table 10, represents the histogram and box plot for variable age of students respectively. Based on the graph of histogram, we can prove that age of students skewed to the right. This matches with Pearson's coefficient of skewness in section 3.2, which also skewed to the right. Besides, from the box plot, we can also determine that it showed the same conclusion as histogram, which has the same conclusion of Pearson coefficient of skewness that is skewed to the right. The second objective is to identify factors that cause procrastination during online learning. Multiple bar chart that shows in Figure 10 and Table 11 represents main factors that cause students to procrastinate. It shows that most main factors that cause students to procrastinate are students are not motivated. Meanwhile, there are 3 factors that have the least students, which are students did not prioritize the task given, feel lazy at the moment and think they still have plenty time, and also social media. On this next slide, I will be talking about Objective 3, which is to identify activities of choice when procrastinating on work among students. As you can see in Figure 11 and Table 12, displays the pie charts of students' choice of activities when they are procrastinating on work. Based on the figure in table, shows that most of the students choose social media or other websites as a choice of activities when they are procrastinating, with a frequency of 57 students. The top second activity that is chosen by 24 students is sleeping, which is 22.4%. Additionally, 13 students chose watching movies or TV, which is 12.1%. And lastly, 7 students chose gaming as their activity when they are procrastinating. Meanwhile, working out and playing with their collection are the least choice that are chosen by students, which is only 1 student each. Next, Objective 4 will be talking about students feeling guilty procrastination. As you can see, Figure 12 and Table 13 above represent students feeling when they procrastinate their work, which is do not care, guilty, happy, miserable, sad, and stressed. Referring to the table, there is only 1 student who felt sad when the respondents procrastinate on work. Conversely, many of the students felt guilty. As shown in the table and figure, there are 41 students, which is equivalent to 38.3%. This is because they know that their actions will make it difficult for themselves later on to complete the work that has been delayed. Besides, there are 39 students who felt stressed, 12 students who felt miserable when they procrastinate their work, and also from the table, it shows that 11 students do not care and 3 students somehow felt happy. These students might have no motivation to study. Objective 5 would be to determine average time students take to complete an assignment due to procrastination. Figure 13 and Figure 14 shows histogram and box plot of time students take to complete an assignment due to procrastination. Table 15 represents the summary statistics for measure of central tendency for hours taken to complete an assignment due to procrastination. The average hours taken to complete an assignment due to procrastination is 9.46 hours. Mode of the study is 3, which means that most of the students complete their task due to procrastination in 3 hours. Median of the study is 4, means that 50% of students completing their task due to procrastination is less than 4 hours, while another 50% is more than 4 hours. Table 17 is a summary of statistics for measure of location. The variable for first quartile is 3, which indicates that 25% of the students completing their task in less than 3 hours and 75% of the students complete their task in more than 3 hours. However, third quartile is 8, which indicates that 25% of the students completing their task more than 8 hours and 75% of the students complete their task less than 8 hours. Referring to Table 18, minimum, maximum, and skewness can be determined in the study. The result of the study that the short hours taken to complete an assignment due to procrastination is 1 hour, while the longest is 168 hours. Pearson coefficient of skewness for variable hours taken to complete an assignment due to procrastination is 5.823, which is positively skewed. This shows that most of the students completing tasks 5.823 hours than us. I will be presenting Chapter 4, which is the conclusion of this project. As we conducted our study using online questionnaire, the sample of 107 students are chosen using stratified sampling technique. We can conclude that the students in UiTM Samarahan Campus 1, Campus 2, and Campus Muka are more likely to procrastinate their works from time to time. This can be proven based on the data that we collected, since most of the students chose sometimes, which indicates 46 out of 107 students, and the top second, they chose yes, which is 43 out of 107 students if they were ever to procrastinate the works given by lecturers. According to what we discovered in the information that we gathered, most of the students' reasons when they procrastinate is because they lost their motivation to study and also the lack of understanding, which means it proves that they are not lazy to do their works, but they are trying their best to learn, but sometimes it's hard for them to catch up, especially through online learning. However, even when they are procrastinating, they still overcame with their own ways, such as listening to music while doing the task, removing any distractions so they can focus on their works, or make schedule so that they can manage their time well. In a nutshell, students have to overcome their problems that they face, especially during online learning, so they will not fall behind compared to other students. That is all from our group. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hello everyone, my name is Dexter and my student ID is 202-165-2164.
Hi everyone, my name is Nur Adriana binti Abdulrahman and my student ID is 2021897388.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Nur Shawinaz and my student ID is 2021814320.
Next, table of contents. So what is inside our research? First, we have introductions, followed up by objectives of the study. Third, we have methodologies. Fourth, data description. 5, data analysis, and lastly, we have conclusion.
For this project, we are doing a study on mental health and suicidal ideation among students in UiTM Campus Samarahan, Sarawak. So what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. As we all know, a lot of people nowadays tend to keep things to themselves and resulting in them being diagnosed with depression. Depression could lead into a fatal incident such as committing suicide. According to World Health Organization, depression is a common illness worldwide, but despite it being common, there are still barriers in providing effective care to people who suffer from it. We conducted this study by distributing an e-questionnaire to targeted audience by using an online platform such as WhatsApp and also Telegrams.
Next, the objective of study. There are 8 objectives of this study. So firstly, to describe quantitative and qualitative variables using graphical and numerical method. Second, to analyze quantitative variables using measures of central tendency, central location, and dispersion. Third, to determine the shape of distributions for quantitative variables. Fourth, to compare dispersion of quantitative variables. 5. To identify the existence of mental health issues and suicidal ideation among students. 6. To investigate factors that influence mental health and suicidal ideation among students. 7. To investigate the mental health knowledge among students. And lastly, to identify supportive level received by students regarding their mental health.
For population example, our population is all accounting students from UiTM Campus Samarahan, Sarawak. From all of the respondents that we have gathered, 101 students are selected as sample. Source of data. In this study, we are using Syarifah sampling technique. By using this technique, we could determine whether students in UiTM Campus Samarahan, Sarawak are struggling with mental health issues or not. Third, statistical methods. The data used in this study were collected by distributing an online questionnaire through WhatsApp group.
Figure 2 and Table 2 represents the information of students' mental health disorder history. 8.9 students that fill in that survey chose yes, whereas 65.3 students chose no as an answer. However, there are 25.7 students who chose not sure for their mental health disorder history. Okay. Nextly, I'll be presenting on knowledge on mental health. Based on Figure 1 and Table 4, for Choice 1, which is mental disorders are conditions that affect your thinking, feeling, mood, and behavior. 98 out of 101 students who participated in this survey chose yes, whereas only 3 students picked not sure. However, there are 0 students who picked the option no for their answer. For Choice 2, which is a question on is mental disorder a chronic disease, 56 students opted for yes, whereas 15 students chose no and the remaining 30 students picked not sure as their answer. For Choice 3, which is can people get over mental disorder without medication? Well, 26 out of 101 students picked yes, whereas 40 students picked no and 35 students picked not sure. For Choice 4, which is once you have a mental disorder, you have it for life. There are 18 students that chose yes as the answer, 52 students chose no, and the remaining 31 students picked not sure as an answer. For Choice 5, which is a question on adults are more likely to have mental disorder than kids, 46 students chose yes, whereas 34 students chose no, and 21 students go for the option of not sure. For Choice 6, which is people with mental disorder are generally shy and quiet. From the figure and the table, it can be seen that 29 students picked yes, 36 students picked no, whereas the remaining students picked not sure. For Choice 7, which is people with mental disorder are generally violent and hard, 18 students chose yes, 46 students chose no, whereas the remaining 37 students opted for not sure. Lastly, for Choice 8, you can tell by looking at someone whether they have a mental disorder. Based on that, 14 out of 101 students that participated in this survey picked yes. 53 students picked no, whereas the remaining 34 students picked not sure. Students' mental health scale will be evaluated from the scale of 1 to 10. Based on the figure and table, the highest percentage on students' mental health scale is 7, which is 29.7%, and the lowest percentage of students' mental health scale is 1, which is 1%. Lastly, I'll be talking about factors influencing on mental health. Factors with the highest percentage is physical or mental abuse, which has 30% students agreeing for it. It is then followed by family, which is chosen by 29.7 students. However, there are some students who chose lifestyle, academic, money and relationship, which has the percentage of 19.8%, 8.9%, 5% and 5% respectively. The factors that least influence students' mental health is friends, which was chosen by only 2% out of 101 students that participated in this survey.
Good 9 and Table 9 pictures on whether the respondents had ever experienced suicidal thoughts. About 39.6% of them admitted that sometimes they do have suicidal thoughts, as compared to 36.6% students who declare they do not have suicidal thoughts. On top of that, only 23.8% students declare that they do have suicidal thoughts.
Next, lecturers. 6.9% of the respondents received lack of support, while 8.9% out of 101 respondents received full support from their lecturers. For family, 5% declared that they are being unsupportive, and 16.8% says that they are being very supportive. Lastly, partners, 13.9% says that their partners are being unsupportive, and 18.8% declared that their partner are very supportive.
Table above presents a summary statistic for measures of central tendency for all quantitative variables that were used in this study. Average age of students in this study is 19.78 years old. Median value of 19 indicates that half of the students are older than 19 years old and the other half of students is younger than 20 years old. Similarly, mother value of 19 tells us that most of the students that participated in this survey is 19 years old. Next, analysis for measures of central location. Table above is the summary statistic for measures of central location for this study. For variable age, first quartile is 19, which indicates that 25% of the students that participated in this survey is younger than 19 years old, and 75% of students that participated in this survey is older than 19 years old. Third quartile of 20 indicates that 75% of students that participated in this survey are older than 20 years old. 25% of students in this study is currently in their semester 2, and 75% of students that participated in this survey are currently in their semester 4. Next, analysis for measure of skewness. Table above shows the minimum, maximum, and skewness value that were examined for all quantitative variables in this study. Result shows that the youngest respondent in this study is 18 years old, while the oldest respondent in this study is 24 years old. Pearson coefficient of skewness for variable age is 1.599, which is positively skewed. This tells us that respondents who are younger than the average is more. For semester of students that participated in this study, it shows us that students who participated in this survey are currently in their semester 1 until semester 8. Skewness value of 1.397 indicates that the data distribution is skewed to the right. This means that most students are below the semester 8.
In conclusion, we have conducted our study using an online questionnaire by distributing it throughout the social platform called WhatsApp. A sample of 101 accounting students in UiTM Sarawak are chosen by using stratified sampling. Throughout of this study, we can conclude that some of UiTM Sarawak students are struggling with their mental health. To wrap up the video, we should take a good care of our physical and mental health in order to become successful in all aspects of our life. This will also allow us to concentrate on what we are doing and feel more happier in life. That's all from us. Thank you.
Hello, Miss. I will talk on background of the study. In this project, our group are conducting research on gaming habits among UiTM students in Sarawak, including Campus Samarahan 1 and Campus Samarahan 2. The project was conducted on 13 June 2022 at UiTM Campus Samarahan 1. The population of this study is all students of UiTM Kota Samarahan 1 and Kota Samarahan 2. The sample of this study are 107 students. Also, we use stratified sampling method in doing this research to get accurate information. On another hand, the data collection method that we use is by sending an online survey with questions that are all directly related to the objective of our study. As we know, electric gaming playing with is referred to as gaming, whether it's done on a console, computer, smartphone or some other device. The word gaming implies frequent gameplay, maybe as a hobby. Despite being mostly a lonely hobby, playing video games online with others has changed the way that people relax. One who enjoys gaming is frequently referred to as a gamer or hardcore gamer. Next is objective of the study. One, to determine the average hours students get spent on gaming. Second, to identify the gaming platforms choose among students to play games. Third, to determine the frequency of students playing games on a weekly basis. Fourth, to identify the average amount spent among students for gaming purposes. And lastly, to identify the attitude towards gaming among students.
So, for Chapter 2, Methodology, Population and Sample. In this study, the population is all students in UiTM Samarahan Campus 1 and 2. That includes all of these programs that is listed down. From these 24 programs, all students are selected as sample. And for sampling technique, to select the sample for this project, we choose convenience sampling technique. Through this sampling technique, we can determine gaming habits among the student in UiTM Samarahan Campus 1 and 2. And for method of data collection, data from this study are collected through online questionnaire that we share on WhatsApp and Telegram. We ask for students to help fill the form, and the link for this questionnaire is at this slide here. And for data description, in this slide it shows section A, demographic. We listed 5 questions for students to answer, which is gender, age, campus, program and semester. And we put an appropriate type of variable, scale and method of analysis for this variable. Okay, in this slide it shows section B, which is gaming habit. We listed 7 questions for students to fill in, which is hours spent, frequency more than 1 hour playtime, type of gadget, money spent, preferred mode, playing partner, and attitude towards gaming activities. We also put appropriate type of variable, scale, method of analysis for all of these items. And that is all for chapter 2.
Hello Miss, today I would like to talk about chapter 3, which is analysis and findings. This is the qualitative variable, so we have 9 qualitative variables, which is gender, campus, program, semester, frequency, student play games more than 1 hour a week, gadget use, mode preferred to play games, with whom they want to play games, and the attitude towards the gaming activities. This is the histogram of students' gender, pie chart of students' campus, the students' program, which is most of them from Diploma of Accountancy SC110. This is the histogram of student semester and the frequency student play games more than 1 hour a week. This is the histogram of gadget used by the student, which is smartphone, and their preferred mode to play games is online or network. This is the histogram of with whom they want to play. They choose to play with any random person. And their attitude towards gaming is to help develop good problem solving and strategic thinking skills. The next is graphical presentation with quantitative variables. This is the histogram and a box plot of the age, the histogram and box plot of hours spent to play games in a week, the money spent for gaming purpose, And lastly, analysis for quantitative variable. We have 4, which is measure of central tendency, which consists of mean, median, and mode. Measure of central location, which is first quartile and third quartile. The third is measure of dispersion, which consists of variance and standard deviation. And lastly, measure of skewness, which consists of minimum, maximum, and skewness.
Lastly, I will represent the chapter 4, that is conclusion. From the study we researched, we did receive of 107 response from our online questionnaire. There are 67 females and 40 males among them. The respondents are from AC110, AD111, AM110, AP114, AP116, AS116, AS120, AT110, BA118, BA199, CS110, EC110, EEE111, EH110, HM111, IC120, and lastly IM110. Most of them are from semester 2 and the list are from semester 1. The majority of the respondents have played games in a week. Most of the respondents use smartphone as a gadget to play game. This is because games in smartphone do not require strong internet connection and it can be carried anywhere. Even though many students choose online games, they are also preferring offline games. This is due to students can play games alone and does not have to communicate with people. However, games can help us to manage stress and develop problem-solving skills. Hence, this proves that our goals was achieved.
Good morning, good evening, or good night, whenever you are reading this, miss. For our project, we have been conducting a study on habit of exercising and physical activities among students in UiTM Sarawak. It has been a long time since we started this assignment, and now with this video presentation, we can't believe it. It's going to come to an end. So first thing first, we would like to express our gratitude to you, Miss Julisa, for your guidance, and also for all of our group mates for all the hard work and dedication that has been poured into this assignment. Here is the picture of us. Sadly, we miss our opportunity to have a picture together, because when we started filming this, some of us were already not in the campus anymore. Now, let's proceed to the chapter 1.
In these slides, I will talk about introduction, the background of the study. In this project, we are doing research on exercise habits and physical activities among students at UiTM Sarawak, Campus Samarahan 1 and Campus Samarahan 2. This project was carried out during the second academic session of 2022 and 2023. All 100 students who completed the questionnaire for the study on exercise habit and physical activities among students at UiTM Sarawak, Campus Samarahan 1 and Campus Samarahan 2. List of all students in UiTM Sarawak, Campus Samarahan 1 and Campus Samarahan 2 who have a propensity of exercising and participating in physical activities. To obtain exact information, we use stratified sampling in this study. Meanwhile, data is being collected by uploading an online questionnaire with all questions directly connected to the objective of our study. Exercise, as we all know, is a psychological activity that improve or maintain physical fitness as well as general health and wellness. It is done for a variety of purposes, including aiding growth and improving strength, developing muscle and the cardiovascular system, honing sport abilities, weight reduction or maintenance, improving health, or simply for fun. The next slide is about objective of study. Objective of the study are as follows. The first one, to determine the frequency student exercise in a week. The second one, to determine the average time students spend exercising. The third one, to identify types of exercise students regularly do. The fourth one is to investigate the reason students have an interest to exercise. And the last one, number 5, to explore habit during leisure time and doing physical activities among students.
Next is Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about methodology. The population includes all students from UiTM Samarahan from Campus 1 and Campus 2. Our sampling technique is stratified sampling. Data from this study are collected through the online questionnaire that we made and shared on WhatsApp and Telegram. We received exactly 100 respondents before we close our questionnaire. These are the images of our questionnaire.
For analysis and finding, we use variables such as quantitative and qualitative variable. The total of questionnaire that we make are 19 questionnaire, which are include 3 questionnaire for quantitative and 16 questionnaire for qualitative. The 3 questionnaire for quantitative are age, exercising, frequency in a week, and hours spent for each section. For qualitative variable, we make 16 questionnaire that are gender, program, semester, campus, type of exercise, reason for exercising, member of gymnasium or fitness center, exercise with preferred time for exercising, importance of exercising, sweating frequency, practice sport or physical exercise, watch TV or movie, walking, riding bicycle, and thought on safe physical activity compared to other of the same age. This slide is show that this is example of method analysis that we use for qualitative variable. We put info from the respondent form, for example, this into a bar chart like this program of the student. As we can see, this is example of cross tabulation table that we use to determine the gender of the student. And this is cluster bar chart that we use to find whether the student do the activity during leisure time and exercising. And another slide where we can see is a pie chart for the student. There is their preferred time for exercising. Morning, afternoon, evening, and night. For quantitative variable, we use histogram for the student age. As you can see, the majority of the students are 19-year-old and 20. This is a box and whisker plot for the number of days exercised for the student. We also analysis for the measure of central tendency like mean, mode, and median. Measure of dispersion that we found out for the student of their range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation, and variance. We also look for the measure of central position such as first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile.
In this last slide, conclusion, we received 100 responses to our online questionnaire from participants in our study. There are 58 males and 42 females among them. AC110, BA118, AP114, AT110, EC110, AP116, AS115, BA119, AD118, AM110, AS116, AD111, BA111, CS110, IM110, and SR113 are among the responses. Most of them are from semester 2 and the fewest from semester 1. The majority of respondents exercise. We can conclude that respondents at UiTM Campus Samarahan 1 and Samarahan 2 spend most of their free time exercising and involved in physical activity. This might be because they understand the benefit of exercise for their body and mind. As a result, they show that our objective was accomplished.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Aisyah. My name is Nur binti Daim.
Hello, my name is Aisyah. I am from AC1102F from Group 6. We are students from Faculty of Accountancy AC110 conducted a study to see whether UiTM students prefer movies or series more. As we all know, movies and series can be a great escape from students from their busy life. It's a good way to release their stress after a long day of class. Nowadays, there are so many genres that can be watched, such as horror, thriller, and many more. There are so many available platforms to watch these movies and series, such as Netflix. The objectives of this study are to find whether students prefer movies or series, to find which genre does the student prefer, to know how often students watch movies or series, to know which language the students prefer to watch their movies and series, to know which platform students watch their favorite movies or series, to know if students pay any subscription fees to watch their favorite movies or series, to know how much students spend on paying for their subscription fees, and to know what is the average hour that the students spend watching their favorite movies or series per week.
Firstly, research methodology. The research methodology for this study was to find or to review research on UiTM students if they are more into movies or series. During student free time, they always do something they love, such as watching television, doing house chores, or playing with their phone for a long time. So, in this study, we will know if student UiTM prefer to watch movie or series. The population ensemble in this study. In this study, the population is all students from UiTM Campus Samarahan, UiTM Campus Samarahan 2, and UiTM Campus Muka. This includes students from course AC110, which is the accountancy student, AD111, AD118, and there are small courses in UiTM. From this 23 program, 115 have been selected as the sample of the study. Then, the sampling technique. The sampling technique for this project is we use stratified sampling technique to conduct this study. By using this sampling technique, we get to divide the student into group and see whether students prefer to watch movies or series. Method of data collection. For the study, we use survey and online questionnaire as our method to collect data. We ask the student from 3 UiTM campus in Sarawak from the random faculty to fill in the online survey. We spread the Google form link mostly using social media apps such as WhatsApp and Telegram. Okay, in this section, I'm going to read about description of variable that we already use in our study. We already divide our section of questionnaire into two, which is section A is for demographic and section B for preferred genre and how to watch. For the first section, which is section A, we already put 5 questions, and the variable in this question is gender, age, campus, program, semester, and the type of variable for gender is qualitative and the scale is nominal. Then for the age, the type of variable is quantitative and the scale is ratio. Then for campus, the type of variable is qualitative, then the scale is ratio. Question 4, qualitative for program, which is the scale is nominal, and lastly the semester, the type of variable for semester is nominal. For the next section, we put in the next section, which is section B for preferred genre and how to watch, we put add question for student to fill in. In this, for the section B, we already put add question for student to fill in, which is type of thing they watch, genre, how often they watch the movies or series, then preferred language and preferred apps, then payment for any subscription for any apps, then how much they pay for the subscription, and lastly is the average hour they spend to watch movies or series they love. And for the type of the thing they watch is qualitative, then nominal, genre, type of variable is quantitative and ratio. Then for preferred language is qualitative and nominal. Then preferred apps is qualitative and nominal. For payment, qualitative and nominal also. Then how much they spend, and for average hours spent is quantitative and ratio.
Chapter 3, Analysis and Finding. For the first question, student gender. which is majority of student Ismail, which accounted for 78.3%. However, only 21.7% of students are female. Next, student campus. Most of the students are from campus Samarahan 1, which is accounted for 49.6%. Meanwhile, student from campus Mukah is the least, with only 4.3%. Then, for student semester, the least student is from semester 1 with 1.7%, and the most student is from semester 2 with 82.6%. Student preferred genre. Majority of respondents prefer watching action genre, which accounted for 56.5%. However, the least students' preferred genre in this study is classic genre, which is only 10.4%. It is also found that there are also students who prefer to watch animation, brutal, and hardcore material, arts, fantasy, and gory genre. Student period of time watching movie or series. Most of the students watch movie or series occasionally, which is 38.3%. Moreover, the percentage of students watch movie or series at least once a week is 33.9%. Lastly, only 27.8% of respondents frequently watch movie or series in a week. Student preferred platform to watch movie or series. From this study, we figure out that most of the students watch movie or series via Netflix, which accounted 63.5% of them. Did students pay any subscription fee to watch their favorite movie or series? From this study, we know that most of our students did pay for any subscription fee to watch their movie or series. Therefore, only 44.3% of them did not make any subscription fee to watch their favorite movie or series.
Conclusion: nowadays, students love to spend their time watching their favorite series or movies. That's why in this study, before making a survey to see if students in UiTM Mukah, Samarahan 1 and Samarahan 2 prefer to watch movies or series. From the study, we can see that there are two types of variables that we can detect from the questionnaire that we share via WhatsApp and Telegram. Sometimes students spend their time doing useless thing, but mostly they spend it for watching their favorite shows. So in this study, we can detect how students watch their favorite show. Then we can see which genre is the student are more into from this.